Hello, everybody, and welcome one and all. It's me, it's Andy, it is him, it is Mikey. This is pre-show woo-woo, as we do. Hi, Mikey.
Hi, Mikey.
Hey, how's it going, Mikey?
I'm okay. No news. How are you?
I'm fine. Well, the same as usual. Sitting here on the moon, looking at the Earth, going, you know?
With your arms crossed, thinking deeply about the deep metaphorical meaning of the characterization of Dragon Ball.
I'm doing the Atlas pose. Because wasn't that something Dr. Manhattan did while he was on the moon? He kept doing the Atlas pose.
Because he had the, he was supposed to have the world on his shoulders. Dr. Manhattan's dumb.
He could have
saying it now.
He could have made. You know what he could have done, Mikey? He could have made the perfect. He could have made Transformers that transform completely accurate to how they do on screen. And
that is true. He could have made the movie for more toys make sense.
Yes, he could have made all of those make sense. And because he can just make things, because he's magic, he could have made it without any detriment to the planet. So he could have made them at high-end quality plastic. With
that is true.
Just the right amount of joint tolerance, so it's smooth, but it's not too stiff, and it's not loosey goosey. And he was just like,
That's true.
Nah, I'm not gonna wear underpants. Like, come on, mate.
Yeah. So in conclusion, Watchmen, not very good. Actually, an opinion I actually hold. But
yeah, I don't enjoy Watchmen, but I think it's interesting, I suppose, and I think
it's historically significant.
Yes, it's important. It's like it's an Evangelion. It's important, but I don't like it. Evangelion's amazing.
Important, but I never want to watch it.
Yeah.
I never want to watch it for fun.
I heard someone say, you know what's a really good superhero movie? Watchmen. I was like, no. If you're gonna do Watchmen, you gotta do the comic at the very least. Like, even if you don't like it.
At the very least, like
yeah. No, not Snyder.
I've never even heard anyone argue Watchmen's a good superhero movie. I've heard many people say God, it's a bad adaptation of the original story, but that's all. I've never heard someone say yeah, it was great.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, wait, what? Am I drunk again? Andy, you don't drink. Am I drunk? Is this what it's like to be drunk? People say weird things that don't make sense. Oh my God.
Am I high?
Oh God, I should be more euphoric. I should just be hearing crazy people. My God. Watchmen being good. Madness, I tell thee. Like saying 300 is a deep, integral plot.
Had a plot?
Yeah.
I was so bored watching that movie. I was so bored.
I think visually it's interesting, but it's very much turn your brain off. It's kind of, I'd say it's maybe more in the good sense of turn your brain off rather than Transformers, which just hurts.
Yeah, maybe, but
it's still.
I'm just blah 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 blah.
It's still very much Zack Snyder, though. It's very much Zack Snyder, but I think it's one of his better bits of work.
Yeah,
not a high bar.
That is a low bar.
Yeah, I know.
Low bar.
I think he should take it though, because he ain't batting high numbers.
No, the way I would say it is Zack Snyder's strength, which is there are screenshots.
Yes. He should probably get into
screenshots that look good.
He should probably get into just making adverts. I think adverts would be his forte more so than narratives, personally. Though, here's a question. What would you prefer? Would you prefer Snyder do a Star Trek film or Alex Kurtzman do another Star Trek show?
I would just like neither of them to touch it.
One of the two. One of the two.
No.
Yeah.
No, you're not. No, we're not playing this game. Why? This is not like, do you kill the baby or do you kill the crowd? It's just you just turned the train off, you moron.
Who's
you just stopped the train. It's got brakes.
Whose is the baby?
It's got brakes.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's got brakes.
Oh, do I like the people on the train? Who's on the train?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I ask these questions. No. I don't care if the train stops or not. I just I need to know the other situation. What are we talking about? Do I like the baby? Did the baby shit on me the previous day? Because I'm well,
Or is it like a baby to give me a thumbs up randomly?
Yeah, the baby just randomly gave me a thumbs up. And oh, maybe the train people should die. The baby did give me a thumbs up. Well, the guy on the train told me I was a prick, so karma, balances out. That's the way karma works, I'm sure. I'm very, very zen.
Yep.
Mikey, should we start pooping this? You know what I didn't do? I didn't check to see if the audio for the soundtrack was working, so this will be fun to see if it actually goes. Shall we start pooping, Mikey? Get the Moonbase rolling and rocking?
Yes.
All right, I will play the music. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't, well, that's me tonight having to sort that out. So, here comes the music, hopefully.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Decayed Andy. I am the Napper to the man to my right's Vegeta. Who's the man to my right? It's Mikey, Vegeta Wolf V3. Hello, Mikey.
Hello.
How's it going, Mikey?
Hello.
Is it fair to say that I cause you brain aneurysms? Is that fair to say? I think that's fair.
Not weekly.
Oh, okay. I need to step up my game. I see how it is. That's okay. I can find you things. I can find you things to cause you pain. That's okay. How's it going, Mikey? Has the week been well for you? Has it been kind?
Yeah, it's been grand. Been busy.
That's good.
Yeah. But yeah. So, what about you, Andy? Has the week been judging you from afar like a giant eyeball on the moon?
It looks at me with hatred in its singular eye or multiple eyes. How many eyes does it have?
Well, it's in this case we're thinking about just the eye.
Okay, so singular eye, yeah, hate-filled eye, one giant eyeball. Not like the monster from Power Rangers that was made of eyes. Do you remember that one?
Oh yeah, Eye Guy.
Yeah. Is that his name? Is he literally just called Eye Guy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Eye Guy. Yeah.
Do you not think his existence was just pure agony and suffering?
Well, there should have been a scene with him with just like eye drops. There should have been an eye drop scene.
Like, just think, you know how it hurts to get like dust in your eye? You know how hard it would be to not get dust in your eye when you're just made out of eyes? Somebody punches you in the eye and it hurts. Somebody just punches you anywhere.
But he's got contacts in. That's why he doesn't get dust. So we needed the scene of him putting the contacts in.
Just really big contacts, or would he have like eyelids like a crocodile kind of thing? You know, the secondary eyelid.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it'd be more funny with the contact lenses because he'd need so many of them. Oh man, imagine if some of the eyes were different sight distances. So some of them were nearsighted, some of them were farsighted. None of them were perfect vision though.
Oh god.
He had to get laser eye surgery on every part of his body. I need laser eye surgery on which one? All of them. Every one. Fingers, toes, bum eyes.
Or like, what if he got glasses? Just one giant glass.
He just need to hold up a lens. Just one giant lens in front of him. Oh, that would actually be kind of a cool accessory, like a giant lens shield. Right? That could be neat. What would you use for a sword, though? Oh, a lance. You could have like No. Yeah, he'd have a giant lens for a shield, and for a weapon, he'd have like a monocle, like a really big monocle. It would be on a chain, so you could like pull it back, and around the edge of the monocle would be like blades, so you could like whip it out and pull it back and whatnot. There you go. There you go. Selling ideas for you. We're here to talk about Transformers this week, believe it or not. There's not much to talk about. The waffle may be strong this week, but hopefully it'll be entertaining goo. Hopefully for you.
Yeah.
Mikey, shall we talk about third-party stuff? Shall we start off with that little sausage?
Let's.
Right. Excellent. You know New Age, Mikey. You love New Age. You've been into bed with New Age, and it's given you a venereal disease. This week, the venereal disease is NAH50 Scott. Not Summers, not Winters, not Scott E. from the Enterprise. I can't think of any other famous Scotts. This is Hound. G1 Hound. He comes with his goon, the obligatory cage for his ladies, and a spare wheel, and energy effect, which looks terrible.
I don't remember. Hang on. What episode was it that Hound was going around kidnapping women and keeping them in a cage? I don't remember that episode in G1.
Oh, you haven't seen that on Twitter? Oh.
No.
Oh, it's there. I'm lying, but it could be. It could be.
I'm lying. It's like, I don't know if I am lying.
Yeah,
But
well,
there we go.
Here's the thing. On Twitter, you can say the most deranged, depraved stuff, and you could go, is that on Twitter? And you go, it might
Well, it will be now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Someone's got it into the head. Ooh, that's an idea. It's like a go-go dancer, but, it's with Hound. And the go-go dancer.
A go-go dancer, but with Hound.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it is.
Right.
Hound, in this case, is 7.6 centimeters tall and has all the accessories that you would expect. I would say he's going to get repainted. Oh, he's got a canopy as well for his vehicle mode. I would say he's going to get done into his desert color. I don't know if there'll be another color in the future, but the better version, the desert version, will be out, I'm sure, one day. Mikey, Hound, and his weirdly bemused, slightly weird kissy face expression. What do you think of him?
He still has those weird shoulders.
Oh, that they should be higher, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never liked that. Never liked that. But he's fine. He looks standard for new age quality, which is really good.
Yeah.
It just like, hey, it's Hound, the least exciting human being who's ever lived.
Wow, human being.
Yeah, Hound is just like that one guy at a party who keeps telling you stories, but you drifted off about 10 minutes ago.
So are you saying Hound is the most boring from the season 1 cast of Transformers? Is that what you're saying?
He's the most boring one that keeps coming back.
Does he keep? Oh no, I guess he kind of comes back.
And he's never really not been boring. In any other media.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, there has no, there's not been a revitalized IDW Hound where you're like, damn, that was a good Hound. Oof, wow.
I mean, there was Hound in IDW who was just kind of mad, and then there was Hound in IDW 2 who like was kind of vaguely interesting in that one story.
Which one?
But it was like it was the one about the Insecticon. You wouldn't have read it, I know that one.
Oh.
The Insecticons were going around devouring people. And like he was like, don't eat the organics, and they were like, yeah, I will. And like, they ate, so like the Insecticons basically discovered that humans taste better.
I like the fact that Hound's so boring that you stopped actually talking about the benefits of his character in that story and started talking about the Insecticons just eating people instead. It's more interesting.
Yeah, that was cool. Like, it wasn't actually a bad story. It was just like, there's nothing notable happening here.
It was
nothing of value.
Would you say it was a standard IDW2 story? Because it sounds like it.
Yeah. He's boring. I don't care for Hound. There's a lot of G1 characters I don't care about. But at least I can say, like, oh, they had like a big central focus thing later. It's just like, hey, it's Hound.
It is Hound.
What have you accomplished with your life there, buddy? You were supposed to be the main character and, aren't.
Yeah.
But the figure looks fun. I don't like the proportions on it, but I've never liked that when they've done those proportions on Hound. But apart from that, like, the posability looks solid. The transformation looks like it's going to be a bit mad, but hey, it's new age. And he looks like he's going to be a well put together little thingamabob. I don't like him with the canvas top. I don't think it blends well with the visual. I think it really, really looks like you just plopped a piece of plastic on top of it.
What do you think of this as an accessory? Do you think it's fine? Because I understand the reason why you'd have it. But
it's the colors. Like, the new age colors are just so deep and metallic. And then you just drop this thing on with no paint.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it. It looks like they don't look like they're connected in any way, Like, I get why it's there. I just don't think it's translated very well.
Do you think if that if that idea was implemented in like a mainline toy, you'd be okay with it? Because I think in a mainline toy, I'd be okay with it because I wouldn't expect them to put the extra kind of money behind it to blend it in better. But here it's the third party kind of experience.
You wouldn't have that metallic sheen paint.
Yes, yeah. Oh, definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah. So the gradient would be better, but overall he looks fine. I'm just not particularly excited about him one way or the other. I mean, it's Hound.
Yeah. It is a strange accessory. I definitely think that. What do you think about the sex cage? Do you like it? It's like his one thing that he does. Oh,
It is. It's kind of like Hound.
Apart from rub on off on Spike, that was the other thing that he did. But there is no rubbing hands.
Yeah. It's fine. It's kind of like, hey, it's a thing from that episode he was in.
Yeah. I would agree.
Where he dropped the key, and it was all part of a grand plan, which I don't actually believe. I think Hound just fucked up and dropped the key, and everyone just decided like, fine.
You know where the Dark Knight got its idea for Joker being captured from? It was from this episode of G1. Oh my god!
Looks like he's coming with it. So he's coming with one of the limbs of Autobot X then.
I don't see in any of the images. Is he?
Extra H54 Frankenstein limb, and I think Frankenstein's Autobot X.
Oh yeah. It's just not shown in the photography for whatever reason, but yeah, it does mention that. Yeah, I guess it's important if you want Frankenstein.
I'm just trying to remember. Is Autobot X? I thought Autobot X was a full figure, not a Build-A-Figure.
Maybe he's a Build-A-Figure. Maybe you can get both. Maybe it's two ways to get him. I don't know. I have a feeling that when he was revealed, we didn't care too much and didn't look too hard at the story. Because we were like, fuck it. But
I vaguely remember it. I've never liked the design for Autobot X very much. Well, I mean, he is literally just parts put together, isn't they? But yeah, let's be honest. There's quite a lot of G1 things I don't get excited about.
That's true. That's the Mikey way.
It is just who I am.
XL Hedge says, movie Hound more interesting than G1 Hound.
Do you know what? I'd say I'd almost give that to you. Yeah. I think I might give that to you. I might give that. Like, he does more. He has a bit more personality in that. Now, that personality is die. But
it is just John Goodman, which you covered with the die. He is just fat.
Yeah, John Goodman wants us all to die.
Yeah. I begrudgingly think that might be true, XL Hedge, as well, just because Hound G1 feels so flat, like Mikey said, and at least the bombastic, over-the-top Michael Bay crap is just like, well, it's something a little bit.
You think Cade's a good dad?
No. No.
Like,
I don't think the Texas law was correct either, Mikey, but, that's still in the movie. Yeah. Never forget.
Yeah.
So, that is Hound, everybody's favorite. Oh, XL Hedge says, honestly, give us a comic/cartoon of G1 Hound with movie Hound's personality. I thought I was going to say proportions. With movie Hound's personality, and it would be an improvement. It would be different. It would be something. I don't think G1 Hound could pull off the rugged, grizzled war veteran who's having Nam flashbacks, though.
I will allow it if we have the same voice actor.
John Goodman, yeah, I'm okay with that.
No. I'm from G1.
Oh, I don't think he's around.
Because I wanted it. He is.
Is he? Oh.
I think. Yeah. Well, we've met him.
I'll have to take your word for it. I don't remember things.
But I what I want is that, but he's saying all the same kind of John Goodman-y lines.
Okay, yeah.
But he has to say him in a really 1980s way with like that, I'm always happy. Yay!
While he's
that kind of voice.
Threatening to kill you. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Ken Sansom. Do you know what? No, we didn't meet him. That's Ken Sansom. I don't think he was ever at Deep Nation. And he is gone, unfortunately. Oh, I'm sad now.
I thought he was. Yeah.
He was Rabbit in Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, really? Oh. On a little side note, one of the tiny spikes that you can get, whichever one it is, I've got it on screen, can also fit in the Hound and be driven around. I don't know which spike this is, but it is a neat little option that you can microman it a little bit. Mikey, what's the next bit of news you want to guff about today?
Yeah, DNA Designs have a new upgrade kit, DK27N. This is for their movie masterpiece MPM12N Nemesis Prime, which is the Nemesis version of Bumblebee movie Optimus, I believe. So this is some new forearms, completely new pieces, which include articulated hands and hide alt mode parts. Leg extenders, new longer thighs featuring double knee articulation and better upper movement. new head with light piping, and shoulder panels, new pieces with a hinge articulation that eliminates the infamous cat ears. I like the cat ears.
Apparently, other
They're
people did
fun.
not.
But yeah, the basic forearm pieces kind of just wrap around and give you new hands. The leg extenders are just full pieces you put in. Makes him noticeably taller. The head is better proportioned for the body. And the shoulder pieces, like I said, get rid of the cat ears, which means you are all dead inside. As far as I know, there's no new pieces on here versus the Optimus one. It's just a repaint, but I do think the upgraded version looks better.
Yeah, I mean the fact that it seems a decent amount bigger. The head is much nicer, and the arms look a lot better as well. It seems like it's even though it's only a few pieces, it seems like it is a good enough upgrade kit. I think the price would probably be a little bit of a putty offy kind of moment, because you probably I don't know if you've got the price there, but if you tell me the price, I'll probably go, ugh. It's probably like £60.
Well, it's like how much was the original one? I'll tell you.
I don't know.
I will. Well, I said, I tell you, God.
Oh my god.
Oh my God, 55.
Oh, I was close. Yeah, is that
$55.
Is that okay? It'd be a bit of a push. I'd need to really like for me personally, I'd need to really like the figure prior to then do it. Like if you said, "Oh, he's a really good Skyquake figure," I was like, I could do this and this and this, and then a kit came out for it, and then £50 more to make him more how you want to be. Like, okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah, to me, it's just like it's a figure I wouldn't be interested in, and it's like certainly not for that kind of money. Not things I'm going to get excited about.
No, I would agree, but if you're into your movie stuff, this could be a nice little upgrade, I suppose. Anything else, young Mikey?
No, that's a quick one. But what I will say, I'll cover the next one just because it's, I got a little bit of it. There is a new pop-up restaurant in Hong Kong, of all places, which is the Transformers The Ark restaurant, which is opening in Causeway Bay, Hong Kong. Yep. So it is a Transformers-themed Hong Kong restaurant where you can go and get foods, including a burger that seems to be shaped like an Oddbot logo, fries and stuff that come in an arc-shaped packet that doesn't look like it's robbing from McDonald's at all. Your tray will be Transformers themed and have the arc on it. Looks like Windblade's in their advertising, which is interesting, but they're using the evergreen design, so that's not a shock. And yeah, we get to see pictures of the burger, which doesn't look tasty.
No, what's with the bun? It looks more like a waffle. Yeah, but it looks like a waffle, not like a bun.
It's a Audubon. The Audubons.
You get to see... Do the chicken legs have like... Do the food have like stupid Transformer names?
I hope so. But yeah, and the basically they've got an image of the outside, and it's like the arc has crashed into the building.
Grim.
So it's open now. It's actually open there. So we've got photos from Robot Kingdom and Facebook. There's a 3D screen on top. So that thing on the top, where it says Transformers the Arc, that's the 3D screen. It's 2 floors, all interiors based on the G1 Arc, all over the floors, walls, floor, and ceiling. Menu is affordable with a wide variety of Transformers-themed fast food, beverages, ice cream, and food. Presentation and packaging features Transformers designs, logos, and references. About 100 seats. Wall has got screens to show Transformers clips and sounds. Transformers music is played over the day. Oh my God, those poor people working there. There is a Transformers shop in the first. Let us out. And there's a merchandise shop on the first floor where you can buy toys and T-shirts and things like that.
Wonder if they're at a marked up price or not. Probably are, right?
I honestly, like, just looking through it, it looks like a fun design. Like someone actually put effort into designing this.
Yes.
And I'm just looking at like the store and stuff. Like the store is like they've got like a whole. I'm kind of surprised they got like flame toys and the whatchamacallit movie model kits all there in a row. That's a shock.
I think it's because it's Hong Kong. They've got access to like the other Japanese stuff, which is good for them.
Yeah. And like the actual layout and display looks very good. Like I wouldn't say like the toy range is particularly exciting or anything. It's just kind of like, hey, you've seen it all before. I've seen people get very excited about this.
Really?
I would say it looks like I like the design of the building. It looks fun, but cool. I'm not gonna like flip a table over this.
It just looks like a generic kind of fast food place, like especially the eatery area. It just looks like a McDonald's, effectively, and I'm sure that's basically what it is. And that's probably the kind of level of food that you're going to be paying. Hopefully, the food isn't like bumped up in price compared to a McDonald's. If it is, I'd be like,
Apparently, it's reasonably priced. It's all in Hong Kong dollars, so I cannot translate for you, I'm afraid, because it's like 85, and I'm just like, that's probably not it. But let's see some of the names. The Prime Burger, so the one with the. So you got the Prime Burger, Interstellar Tea,
bun?
Energy. Yeah, no, that's the Auto bun.
Okay. No. I mean, because there's like 3 buns. There's like the standard colored one. There's a red one, and then there's a black one.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't want to eat the red or the black one. But yeah, we've got I like this: Interstellar Tea, Energade, and coffee.
Oh no, coffee!
just coffee.
The universal greeting.
Bumblebee's fried chicken, Flavor Surge fries, powered up kids meal. What else we got? Yeah, and I hope they treat their workers well, but I bet they don't, because it's a fast food restaurant. They never do. But yeah, like for anyone who doesn't know, these kind of things are very popular in Japan and the Asia region, which is these short-term pop-up restaurants. They rent spaces, they go through the designs. They're not intended to be open long-term. Like this is almost certainly going to be closed within a year, but they are, they attract customers over a short period of time. They make a fair bit of money over a short period of time, and then they close and move on, and another thing will move in and replace the site.
See, I wasn't sure if this was meant to be a pop-up. Is it actually just a pop-up?
Yeah, it's been advertised as a pop-up in a few places.
Okay.
Like,
all right.
Also, to be honest, I don't see it lasting long, even if it wasn't.
Are you going to be going out to Hong Kong anytime soon, Mikey, to have the Optimus Prime burger?
I'll be honest, it's a little bit expensive to fly that way for like a burger.
I want to see.
I could see if they open one here.
I want to see you do a TikTok. I wanted to see Mikey's TikTok challenge of like flying to Hong Kong just for a burger, and then seeing you eat your burger, and then the next day come back home. I want that TikTok challenge, Mikey.
That's all I've done.
Yes.
I haven't toured Hong Kong. I haven't seen anything else. I've just gone into this one restaurant, like photo of me in the lobby, photo of me in the first floor, and then boom, done.
No happy expressions either. Every photo you need to look miserable. every photo. It's like I'm allowed to go to another store so I can buy some figurize kits, or I don't know, anything. No. Restaurant, airport, back home. You're done.
You're done, son.
That's your Moonbase 2 trip.
Yeah, that's our weekend away.
Yep.
That's what your Patreon dollars are being spent on.
Mikey gets a burger. Yeah, it's interesting.
Andy, do you...
Excel Hedge.
Would you like to take us on?
We've got some stuff. Excel Hedge says, but do they have the Optimus Prime driving up to order a stack burger? No, they should. Yeah, they should. You know those little robots that they have in restaurants now, or some restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have totally made some of them. They should have made some. Well, use some of them. That would have been fun. Probably too expensive to be.
See, I want it to be Transformers animated themed, and then out the window you could have like that fight scene between Optimus and Headmaster when they were trying to blackmail Sari into talking to her dad again outside the restaurant.
No one remembers animated, Mikey. That was like 3,000 years
ago. Go to hell.
Ago. No one remembers that.
Go to hell and die.
I know. General Techno goes, well, what if the TF music is being played, if it's the Galaxy Force OST, that's good music. Not if it's on repeat.
What if it's the American opening, though?
Oh, yeah, it's just the American openings. That's it.
Transformers, go! And that's it. Nothing else from the soundtrack. And you just have to hear this like weird weirdly Australian sounding voice going, "The Autobots have to battle evil forces of the Decepticons," and you're just like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, you gotta get the
on?
important bit. Our worlds are in danger. Boop doop doop boop 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 boop. Oh, to be fair, Jobby made that look quite fun when he bobbed and weaved to it. If you remember that.
I remember that, but I don't remember what figure that was.
Neither do I. I just remember him jiving, and that was about it. General Techno also
when he was
says,
in the closet.
No, he was out the closet at that point. He was in a different.
Oh, yeah, remember he was in it. He is in the closet too.
Maybe he jammed to it twice. The one I saw, he wasn't in the closet.
Oh, that's a thing.
Yeah. The Brian Tiller TFP score would be great BMG music. That's true. I'd say Transformers Prime has the best soundtrack out of all the Transformers shows. I don't think that's questionable. It's very dramatic and movie-ish. Also, he's... oh my god. General Techno also goes, okay, those French fries containers are great. Yeah, the containers were quite nice. A little tiny arcs, little arcs. They're quite
Someone's going to... Oh, I just realized someone's going to go over there and actually try to get... Like, they're going to order one of everything on the menu so they can bring those back.
And sell them at a high price.
I don't know about sell them, but there is someone who's like... I know there are people who collect stuff like that.
That's true. XL Hedge, you know how this restaurant would have driven collectors crazy. What if the Titan Arc was exclusive to the restaurant? Yeah, like imagine they released the Nemesis as a pre-order, as a like an exclusive to this restaurant. Like now, it was just could put it. Yeah, people would get pissed because people would pay silly prices as well to get it as well. Secondary market would go nuts. General Techno, Bumblebee's fried chicken. What did IDW2 Cliffjumper get mistaken for Bumblebee again? When did he serve up Deathsaurus as a meal? That's a good question.
That's a lengthy reference you have made.
It is.
That is a lengthy reference you have made.
Yeah. This. Did you see the advert as well?
What if they're playing? Yeah. I saw the advert. Like, it looked cheap. Hey-ho.
Yeah, it's for a pop-up restaurant, you know. I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not?
Well, I'm going to judge him.
Why isn't one of the ice creams like bright pink? Energon ice cream or something?
Because they've got Enerjade, obviously.
What's
Enerjade? They can't have, clashing brands.
I'm getting hungry looking at this food, though, which is not helpful. It's fast food, and like I shouldn't like it, but I'm like... My mouth gets all moist thinking of a nice juicy burger that's gonna kill me in a few years' time. It's like, oof, that'd be good. That'd be good. Shall that move us on, Mikey?
Please do.
All right, we've talked about some of these things in the past. I think we talked about, we mentioned the Optimus Prime from Rise of the Beast with the weird chest thing last time, but we didn't show it on screen, and we've got a little bit more for it as well. So this is the Beast Mode Optimus Prime, not Primal. Similar to the Beast Mode Bumblebee with the weird bird coming out of his boobs, this is a similar idea. He's 25 centimeters tall. He can transform to a off-road truck in 22 steps, apparently. It's got lights and sounds and all that jazz. And it's quite a big toy with some simple transformation and fun gimmicks for kids. While big and posable, he hasn't got a very solid alt mode. Oh my god. And he also has a line popping out of his boob as well. So let's go through some images. I think it's quite scary that Lyle Convoy is exploding out of Movie Prime's chest. I don't think this one looks as good as Bumblebee, personally.
No, it doesn't look as much fun. I've seen it in person now, and it's just like, looks very cheap.
Yeah. Some images of it next to the Revenge of the Fallen masterpiece scaled or regarded Optimus Prime. These are two very, very different toys that you probably shouldn't put next to each other. Remember when
he's bigger than Scourge.
Remember when that was the movie leader Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime was considered a children's toy?
Yes, I do remember that. I also remember giving up on it.
Yes.
Trying to transform it.
Still, interesting time. Yeah, you're right. He is quite a bit bigger than the Scourge. A few of the other toys we've got with him. Is there one with him and the Bumblebee? Oh my god, that vehicle mode.
Do you know what? Wow, I just noticed something. Just look at the scale on these. Cheetor and Battletrap are bigger than Optimus and Primal.
No.
Look at them.
Oh. Are those like studio series
Those
Optimus
are the
Primal?
Voyagers.
No.
Yeah. Well,
No.
I think they're the Kingdom, the mainline Kingdom Optimus, and the two Optimi, and the other two are Studio Series. But I wouldn't expect them to be much larger, because I can't see why Optimus and I wouldn't see why Prime and Primal aren't going to be Voyagers.
No.
I mean, I don't care about scale myself, but it's just funny.
They're going to cost
also,
the same
they
price,
do not
though.
look like
Similar.
Yeah, they also don't look like they come from. Actually, that's the question. Did the main line cost as much as Studio Series? I don't think they do they?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. To be honest, Studio Series is probably more. That's always usually been the case for the most part. At least it used to be.
But yeah, I do find it amusing. Like Prime and Primal next to each other do not look like they're from the same toy line at all.
No, no, they're very different. It's almost like these styles clash a little bit. You would say that.
But that would be madness.
That would be madness. Mikey, are you going to buy one of these weird boob transformers? You think?
It's €55, so no.
Oh, what the fuck? I know it's got lights and sounds, but Jesus Christ! So this is a similar price to the Megatron, the Legacy Megatron.
This is leader prices.
Oh my god. Okay. That's fine.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. General Techno says, yeah, I'm debating right now if I'm going to open up Legacy Evo Wave 2 stuff or Rise of the Beast Studio Series stuff on stream. Scourge looks so good, as does Cheeto, but then Evo Wave 2 has Skyquake, and those deluxes.
Yeah.
I guess, if to be more relevant, you probably want Rise of the Beast, because everybody's seen all of Evo Wave 2. So if you want to hook those people, probably go with the movie stuff. I would guess. I don't know.
I follow your heart. Just do what you want to do. Genuinely.
No, I gotta make money, Mikey.
The one thing I've learned is that you ain't gonna make money by trying to please everyone else.
Please yourself.
Frequently and often.
Oh my god. I may as well take this next story as well, because I know Mikey wouldn't want to talk about Lorenzo de Bonaventura.
No, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Oh, okay.
I'll do it.
I'll let you take your best friend then. What's the best boy?
We all know him. We all love him. We all assume he just hangs out with Andy Schmidt and Dan Didio.
I saw his fucking name is on the executive producer's massive credit list at the end of Picard season 3. I was like, oh my god, it's him. The Nightmare Master.
Yeah. Well, because it's Paramount, isn't it?
Yep.
So, Lorenzo has risen from his grave once again. To talk about the upcoming Transformers 1 movie working title, which is the animated film, which is presumably CG, which is due next year. Previously, we had been told that Toy Story 4's Josh Cooley was hired as director. I haven't seen Toy Story 4. I think people liked it, but not as much as the other three. From what I understand, I don't know. So main details, we're going to go through the highlights, and then I'll go through the various Lorenzo quotes, and you can watch my teeth go on edge. But the movie will focus on a young Optimus and a young Megatron and how they evolve into the characters we know today. The entire movie will be set in Cybertron. Origins of Transformers in this universe, whichever universe this is, will be explored. Because is it movies? Is it Bumblebee movies? Is it new movies?
Is the aligned continuity?
God almighty, if it was. Since it's an animation project, it could work as a new trilogy. Can we not do trilogies for everything? While they have ideas about what the following movies would be about, they also want to focus on making the first one really successful. Just do a standalone movie. Just do a series of standalone movies if you want to go down that route. It's not a coming-age movie. Untitled animated Transformers movie, unofficially called Transformers 1, July 19th, 2024. Expect that to be changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, basic interview. So, during the interview, it was asked if rumors being said in Cybertron is true, and if that was anything to do, if there was anything Bonaventura could tease about the film. I could tell you important parts of the story, which is more than a tease. This is something we are trying to do. We debated a lot about it in live action, and it just was financially impossible to do, which is the origin story of Megatron and Optimus. I know if you know the origin, they started as friends, and over time things evolved for them, and they ended up on different sides. So we're telling the story of the young ones. We really are telling the origin story of all Transformers, both what they were at the beginning of it all to how they grow apart. That's literally saying the same thing 3 times. So we're hoping that there is enough emotional construct that would lead to that. We're hoping that there is enough emotional construct to that would lead to a trilogy.
What the hell are these sentences?
I think there's Lorenzo Bonaventura. But personally, I think these aren't Googled. This is not Google Translation we're dealing with. This is a human being. I think there's a natural trilogy. I'm not always looking to do multiple movies. That is a fucking lie. But there's a natural trilogy around their relationships. So you're going to see Cybertron in a way you've never seen it, that no one's ever seen it before. I'm going to put money down on that we have in fact seen it before. Because we're doing an animation, we were allowed to really go all out. If you tried to make this a live action, we'd call it be $1 billion movie or something like that. You're going to see the origin of society, what broke it apart, a bit like Krypton. Yay, but the challenge is that if you know the lore, they begin to question the hierarchy of society is stratified, blah, 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 blah. It's not fully executed by any stretch of imagination, but hearing Optimus and Megatron not as who we know them as, see their maturation in this experience. So in a sense, you're hearing a different character because you're hearing them before they matured. It's not a coming-of-age story. I don't think you'd believe that, but I would say they're young men who are finding their path.
Is it not like Optimus Prime's coming-of-age story? From Orion Pax to Prime?
And also, they're young men who are finding their path.
Yeah. Sounds
which
like
is the definition of...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more of a tease to that's what the story is, and that's the experience you're going to go through, and how they question society. We're maybe not as strong as them, so we wouldn't make the same choices, but I think it's going to be a real eye-opener. For non-fans, you're going to see them in the early formation. We don't spend a lot of time thinking about 2 or 3 because it's always hard to do one well. Again, fucking lie. But there is a natural trilogy coming out of this friendship when you see the divisions. I'm just going to skim because I'm starting to lose my mind. Okay, so I overplayed that a little bit because this man's voice actually cuts through me like a knife every time because I expect everything he said here to be contradicted within 6 months by himself.
I mean, we've seen, like, we don't always aim to make things a trilogy. What was Star Trek? That didn't need to be a trilogy, but we made it a trilogy. It was a bad one, but...
I mean, you're literally saying here you're thinking about movie 2 and 3.
Yeah. We're not making it a trilogy, but if we did, this is a natural conclusion. It's like it's not. At least they're not doing a cinematic universe. To be a trilogy. At least it's not a cinematic universe. So,
but maybe it is. Well, maybe it is because isn't it? Which movies does it? I mean, is it Rise of the Beast? Is it tying into something? Like someone made a point, and I actually think this is a very reasonable point. Yes, you and I and the listeners right now and people listening to this podcast and people who've been in Transformers for years are super sick and fucking tired of seeing that story.
I don't mind seeing the origin.
It a billion times.
I don't mind seeing the origin. I mind seeing them landing on Earth again. I get annoyed at that because that's always the thing that we get. Seeing the start of the war.
The origin. I'm tired of seeing the start of the war, if I'm honest, because it's been done. The thing is not that it's been done too much; it's that it's done the same every time.
Yeah, we've seen it probably done as good as it's going to be done.
Like, what are they all chasing? Oh, the Allspark. I'm tired of the fucking Allspark.
Yeah, I think they need to drop that. Yeah.
Yeah, but the point someone made was that for people who aren't fans, or who just like casual cinema goers or whatever, they've never seen any of this before. This is all brand new. Mm-hmm. But like... with the fact that the continuity is completely up in the air, because I have heard, like, basically there was a leak of the Rise of the Beast early screening a couple of, like, maybe 6 months ago that I never mentioned before, which I can say early stuff that we've already seen is basically confirming that the leak was probably true, which I would say means that Rise of the Beast is very much going down that X-Men First Class. Is it in continuity? Sure, let's say why not.
It will be in continuity if it's successful. I would imagine is how it is, right?
Also, like what I read, it didn't help my feelings for like I feel like we're going completely the wrong direction with this movie. But
Sure.
but yeah, it's producer speak.
Yeah, nonsense.
That's all it is.
Lies and garbage.
The most important thing to come out of this is okay. We've got a bare bones idea of what the movie's going to be, which is it's going to be an origin story, and
a
we
coming
know
of age
that
movie.
but not a coming of age movie.
No,
And we know the director. We know the director is Josh Cooley, and I know he did Toy Story. I don't know what else he did. I'm just going to double check. I mean, like I said, I know people reviewed Toy Story fairly well. It's just like, yeah, it's good, but it's not as good as the other ones.
Okay.
So director-wise, he's done Toy Story. This is only going to be his second director gig.
Okay.
Previously, he's been a screenplay writer, a supervisor, an artist, and he's mostly done creative stuff on like actual development and he's done a lot of management for Pixar and stuff like that. So he hasn't done a ton of actual movie work.
Okay, well, fair enough.
He started off as an artist. So, but he worked in the screenplay for Inside Out, which I never saw. I don't know if that was good. And yeah, he did the original story and the direction for Toy Story. He's apparently going to be doing the writing for Transformers, which is also being called A New Generation.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just every time I see Transformers news, I just get.
You mean on the movies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I really, really don't. I want to be positive. I want to be like Rise of the Beast is out in a couple of months, and I'm going to be seeing it front row. La la la. Just like I'm going to see it, but I'm also not paying to go see it. I'm going to use a voucher I've got so that I don't actually put money across.
Sure.
Which I don't like saying that.
Well, you want to be happily surprised, don't you?
Yeah, I want this to be good. Bumblebee was good. I just wish I felt like they learned the lessons from Bumblebee that they should have learned.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound negative. I know it's always negative, blah 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 blah. But hey, weirdly, and for a bit of contrast, it's like I was really struck by how the full Rise of the Beast trailer did nothing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yet the 30-second none of this is going to be in the film trailer for Godzilla and Kong New Empire got me like bouncing in my chair.
Well,
just because what the fuck is going on?
Like I don't think the Godzilla or Kong movies are like crazy good. You like them a lot more than I do, but I'd say they're better than the Transformer movies. I would easily say that they outpace the Transformers movies by quite a long stretch. They've got a lot of issues themselves, but man, if you were saying, Andy, gun to your head, what do you want to watch? What was it for one? The Kong versus Godzilla or any Bumblebee. I'd say Kong versus Godzilla. I was thinking the best Transformers live action movie versus. No, the worst one's the first Godzilla. Would I prefer to watch Bumblebee or the first Godzilla? Probably. Maybe Godzilla. It's a bit of a hard choice, but maybe Godzilla. I'd choose that over Bumblebee. And I don't like that Godzilla movie at all.
I know you don't.
Yeah.
Just like they just went Evil Monkey, and the internet just went wild. And I was just like, that. I think that's an original Evil Monkey.
Oh my god! Why is it not?
Like I don't unless. I think it's like some people saying it's orangutan. I think it looks like a gibbon.
Orangutans are not evil. Chimps are evil.
That is true. That is maybe it is, but like he's got orange fur. We see in a close up, he's got orange fur.
I love orangutans.
The rumor for that is that there's going to be like an evil Kong and an evil Godzilla.
Oh my god! Hang. Did we not have an evil Godzilla in Mecha Godzilla last time?
No, like an actual like it's another like it's like their species, and it's just like them.
Are they going to put crystals on his shoulders and just make him Space Godzilla, but he's not going to be from space?
That's the other rumor. Actually, okay. Space Godzilla was heavily rumored for the last year or so.
I'm all right with Space Godzilla because he looks weird. I always like the Monster Arts figure of him, but I'd never buy it. But I'm like, he's got 2 giant crystals on his shoulders. That's cool.
His movie's really bad.
I hear. Yeah, I you might have mentioned it to me, or somebody did, but I remember hearing that it's not good.
Got Chibi Godzilla in it. I don't hate Chibi Godzilla.
You don't like it though, do you?
Not Minya. It's like the one that's literally just like a tiny Chibi Godzilla. But yeah, because they went through this weird thing where you've got Baby Godzilla, Little Godzilla, and Godzilla Jr., and it's all like him growing up in each film. And Godzilla Jr. looks like a smaller Godzilla, and Baby Godzilla looks like kind of a little monster Godzilla-y thing, and then Little Godzilla is just like a little chibi boy. A little tiny chibi boy.
So is it like teenager Godzilla that has like radioactive pimples?
I think that's Godzilla Jr. basically.
Oh, okay. Oh no. Yeah, I can see why you wouldn't like that then. Teenagers is the worst. We have a message from General Techno. I still think back to Don Murphy's message board back in the day, given Murphy really did not like Lorenzo.
No, he didn't. I remember that. Don Murphy hated everyone, which is, but I was on that forum back in the day. He was an angry man.
For good, would you say good reasons or not?
No, not good reasons. He was trying to dox people before doxing was a thing.
Oh. No, I mean, was he angry for a good reason, or was he just angry because he was just, I don't know.
He didn't like the direction the films were going, but then he would say something like, "You're all going to be so amazed when you see Optimus Prime smile and all the bits and parts move." And I'll never forget coming out to that movie and going like, Optimus didn't smile once.
No.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't.
He might have under the mask when he killed people, but we don't know that for sure. I'm pretty sure that's the hidden law.
Like it is now.
Yeah.
We know he was now because he's a monster.
General Techno also says, I will say a prequel story set on Cybertron. I thought Krypton was going to be bad, but then by the end of season 2, I was sad it got cancelled, so you never know. I never watched it.
My response to this is, I don't know what Krypton is.
It was a prequel series set on Krypton.
I
heard about it, but I
had no idea.
I didn't care. I think it was CW,
I had no
right?
idea.
Probably CW, so,
I'll give it a go if it's worthwhile, but...
I still find the latest claim, the movie being a edited mess, interesting, even though I don't want to give it credence, given David Soboleff talking about how much he'd recorded for the film back in LA, as that comes across as me as lot of rewrites happening.
Yeah, that's what I'm really afraid of. Is that this is a movie that started as okay and then went through 10 rewrites or something like that.
Whenever there's more than 2 writers,
a lot of lines.
Whenever there's more than 2 writers on a movie, that's when or anything really, on one project. Like if there's one episode of a TV show and it's got 5 writers, be concerned. If there's one movie and it's got 5 writers again, be worried. Be worried. It's usually a bad sign.
And look, the screenplay for this movie was and remember, every person who gets the credit is someone who's done the screenplay at some point.
Yeah.
So Jobby Harold, Darnell Metayer, Josh Peters, Eric Hober, and John Hober.
5.
Presumably 2 of them work as a team, so they'd probably count as 1, but that's still 4.
Yeah, it's
that's still a lot of rewrites.
If you want rewrites, just get the same writer to rewrite it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
No, well, rewrites are always okay, this is the initial one, and then we don't like these elements, so we want someone else to come in and add their spin on things. Which can get very messy.
Yeah, because sometimes those ideas don't blend together desperately well, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh god, I just realized what's on the throne in Godzilla X Kong film. It's the freakish nightmare offspring. Oh. Is that true, Mikey?
Oh god.
Have Kong and Godzilla
People have been saying that because it's Godzilla X Kong.
Yeah,
and glowing blue eyes. With glowing blue eyes, just
Well, Godzilla's a chick, isn't she? In the films. Or do we not know?
No, it's never been said.
Okay,
it's never been said. It's always been treated as a he. Everyone says he, but no one's ever gone up and said, "Excuse me, can I sex you?"
Yeah. Well, maybe Kong did.
We don't know if Kong's male. I don't see anything.
The way he sat in that chair, he was male. He was definitely male.
Listen, I've known many overcompensating people of all sexes, genders, and everything else. And I don't see no tiny ding dong. Actually, he's way too aggressive to be a gorilla because he acts like a chimp.
There you go.
Just like he sees something, he wants to punch it. That's chimp behavior.
Don Murphy was an angry man. Does sum him up? Yep. His production company is named Angry Films. Jesus Christ. Krypton was a sci-fi series, a sci-fi series. It was a sci-fi series. All right. Shall I move on, Mikey, to the last bits of news? These are 2 guest announcements.
Please do.
TF Nation 2023. We've got Stephen Baskerville, not referencing the Sherlock Holmes book. He is an artist who's worked on series such as Ghostbusters, Thundercats, G.I. Joe. Most recently, his worked appearance alongside other IDW artists on Regeneration 1 and Drift, Empire of Stone. Not the Stoned. That's the Cheech and Chong special.
Oh. I remember that book.
Well, Empire of Stone.
Oh, wow. That's gone back a few years. Yeah, that's gone back a few years.
Is that the one with the black robot, whatever his name was, who got redone out of Impactor from Mastermind Creations? Yeah, the big fusion cannon arm. What was his name?
No. That's this one has Gigatron as the main villain.
Okay, well, who's the guy I'm thinking of? What was his name?
Turmoil.
I was like Punished Vertebraker. I couldn't remember his name. It's like what a
evil dude.
Evil. Yeah, where he was completely colored black. Yeah, and he had a face grill and a fusion cannon. He was a mean boy.
Dark robot.
Evil. The other guest we have is Dan Gilvezan going to TFCon in Orlando, which is October 20th to the 22nd. Bimblebee, Apeface, Hotspot, and Goldbug. Everybody's favorite. Goldbug.
Shit piece.
I was thinking, was it Shit Piece? I couldn't remember if it was called Shit Piece or not. What's his name? I think it was Shit Piece. That's it. That's all the news for the week. It was light on news, unfortunately.
Very light.
But Mikey, I'm sure you have a fun-filled week filled with exciting things to converse about. So what do you want to talk about first?
I have things. Let's find some things. So, watched an anime. Watched the first 4 episodes of Rokudo Onatachi, which is being translated as Rokudo's Bad Girls. A very 90s feeling anime.
What was it called, sorry?
Basically, Rokudo Onotachi, or Rokudo's Bad Girls, I think it's being called here. Basically, Japanese delinquent school, and there's these 3 kids, and they're not delinquents, and they're really shy, and one of them is Rokudo, and he accidentally gets a magical seal on his head that makes violent women fall in love with him, and he ends up having a woman who's so powerful she can punch through a stone wall and it doesn't even slow her down, fall for him, and it's about him going around trying to help people be better people.
Oh, is she blonde?
She's very blonde. She's like classic Japanese Sukuban.
Yeah, I just found an image.
Yeah, but it's honestly not bad. I actually read the manga a good few years back, and it was fun. It was like retro, but like it was kind of it's a been over for a few years now, so presumably they could do the full story if they wanted to. But it's not.
You jest, Mikey, you silly boy.
But one thing I will say is really knocking it that the animation is not up to the snuff of what they're trying to do.
Oh, really?
Because there's quite a lot of action in it, and I feel like the animation is just not connecting with me and not really doing what I think it needs to do.
Does it feel like it needs a bigger budget to kind of carry the action scenes?
Yeah. Because there's very striking visuals and very unique art styles to this, and it really did need something more going on in the visual department, or in the graphical department rather, not to use a redundant sentence. But so unfortunately, I wouldn't say the art's very good, but like I might tag along with it. I don't have any other animes to watch this week, unfortunately, even though I have my list finally sorted for which ones I'm going to try from this season. I also have caught up on King Oger and Geats. Geats has wrapped up the Yamato arc, and it's on to a new arc next week. Pretty interesting. I would say not an amazing ending, but it's very much like, okay, it's wrapping up a story, and now we're moving on to the next part of the story. Geats is very, very structured in terms of its arcs and focus. So this one was kind of wrapping up some Geats stuff. Looks like he and a few other characters aren't going to be in the next couple of episodes, interestingly enough.
Okay.
So it looks like Buff is going to take center stage for an episode or two. Yeah, like it added some new like early stuff, like the idea that the original Grand Prix didn't give you wishes. They gave you like prestige, and no one died. And now it's like, well, we've changed the rules a bit, haven't we? So I'm very curious to see where it goes with the next one. There has been, based on the trailer, you can see a new form for Buffa, which is pretty lazy, but they're also saying
horns,
like
right?
Gold horns and like a cape from Calibur's cape from a couple of years ago, and like he's using the fever slot. So he's like got the full zombie body and gold horns. And this is supposed to be his ultimate form. But apparently there's, according to the toy leaks and everything else, he's getting a full new form, new bodysuit thing down the line.
Is this is this a game situation again with Baron?
I think so. I don't think it's. I think it's more like a stopgap because this story wasn't meant to go this way. Whereas with Baron, it was just like, we need to keep him relevant because everyone loves him. And this feels like, well, I'm writing the story, but it wasn't really planned for him to have a toy at this stage.
Ah, okay.
So we're giving him a form that doesn't require toys. That's what that feels like to me.
Right.
Kind of like when he got the command jet form, which is just like, cool, we're doing the weird footed form, but we're just going to make... They didn't even make a helmet. They just put like a visor over the regular Buffet helmet.
Huh.
So yeah, it's a wrap up to the arc. I'm curious where, like, there's not much else you can say about it beyond that, but it's fun. And King Oger continues to impress. Episode 8, I think we're on now. So 2 months in, I am really, really liking the show. This had some fun in it. It had some wacky Sentai stuff, but it also had a good plot progression, good acting, again, good face acting. No one should ever trust the Black Ranger in this show. Never, ever, 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 ever trust him for any reason, and yet everyone does. There's more setup with the villains. We've got the new. I don't think this is going to be the 6th Ranger. I think it's just the new Ranger, which is Okuagata Oger, who's like a silver stag beetle. And yeah, no, just really, really fun, really, really fun, and really, really engaging. I'm really liking this show. Really good fight scene as well. Really well done fight scene. But yeah, Andy, like I would say this is probably a good jumping on point if you're going to try it.
Yeah, I think I remember you said like once the first story arc was over, that would be a jumping on point. And it's shocking that you still say it's good so far, because I thought being a Sentai series, you might get to the end and be like, I mean,
yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm really liking it.
It could still go that way. It could still easily drip into.
Yeah, I would recommend a non-subs if you're going to watch it out. I've checked out every subgroup. Overtime is still doing its thing where it changes a lot of meaning of sentences. It's trying to like localize a lot of ideas, but it also changes what sentences are saying. It does, like, it's one thing to change like a local, a Japanese analogy or something like that to an English version, but they still have a very bad habit of just like literally changing what the sentence is saying because they think it makes more sense.
Right.
Which I would call a very early English sub approach.
Yeah.
And there's one AU subs are usually the fastest, but they have a lot of inaccuracies in their script. And non-subs, okay, the big secret about a non-subs is that it's TV Nihon.
What? They're still sort of around.
Yeah. It's the same guys, and I know there's this weird culture in the fan sub community of just like, ooh, this company's good, this company's bad, and just like, listen, as long as I feel like I'm getting the meaning that was intended, I don't really care. Like, that's the important thing for me. There's other one like Excite subs, I think, do King Oger as well, and they're good. But yeah, I would recommend Anon because they also come out latest, which means I get the feeling they watch what everyone else does and then say like, you made a mistake there, you made a mistake there, you made a mistake there. but because like there was a scene in episode 7 which one group translated one way and another group translated another way, and just like they were two completely different meanings.
Okay.
You know. So yeah, but I would honestly say not a bad one to pick up. Apart from that, kind of two significant things this week in terms of that, which is I watched the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always a Ranger special, which is the 30th anniversary show, which brings back some of the Mighty Morphin cast, and it's a Mighty Morphin focused story. So a little bit of spoilers here. Okay, one that feels like it's a big spoiler, but they do it in like the first 5 minutes. So basically, it starts off with Billy being attacked by Robo Rita, who is Robot Rita, and her monsters. And the other Rangers show up. Billy nearly gets shot, but Trini takes a blast for him, and she gets killed.
Is it kind of gross that
And
they do
then-
that?
I think it is.
I think
it's
well.
quite gross.
I think
And
it's not
apparently, according to the people who made it, it was actually supposed to be way darker. It
What do you mean?
was edited down to be less dark.
What do you
Don't
mean?
know. But there was going to be like a scene of her lying untransformed on a beach or something like that.
Oh my god. That just feels feels like you're capitalizing on a real person's death, and that just
It does.
I didn't watch it myself. I watched clips of it basically, and I saw that and I was like, oh, that's because I know the actress that played Trini died a while ago, but it just feels
many years ago.
Feels
So.
icky. Let's say.
Yeah.
Icky.
For returning cast, they've got Walter Jones, David Joyce, so they're back as Billy and Zach. They're the main two, and then there's also Rocky's there and Kat are there. I don't know their actors' names, I'm sorry. And Johnny Ambosh and the woman who played Aisha are back.
Damn, Young Bosch looks like a fucking Chad. He still looks amazing.
Yeah, he does. He's great. He's by far had the most successful career out of any of them.
Oh yeah.
But then Alpha's voice actor is back, Invader Zim himself, and Rita's voice actress is back, and yeah, so she does a great job. She like the voice acting this like for those two, Alpha and Rita, are like really high quality. Like really high quality. Even the audio is a bit better than the ADR that's usually on modern Power Rangers. It's not as bad. It's not great, but it's not as bad.
The ADR sounds a bit weird in places. So, like in I'm sure you'll get to it when they go to the graveyard. It sounds really weird.
Oh yeah, but that's modern Power Rangers.
But this isn't like a modern Power Rangers show though. This is a
we're
Neflix
going to talk
special.
about that in a second.
Oh, okay.
We're going to talk about that in a second. So, because for one, remember all Power Rangers is now Netflix Power Rangers, but they don't get Amy Jo Johnson back because they offered her a spot back. She didn't want it.
That's Pink Ranger,
she hasn't acted
OG
in years.
Pink Ranger?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. She hasn't acted in years, and she said she wasn't really interested. She is, however, writing a comic for Boom Studios, which shocked me. She's a director now, I think. Jason David Frank was offered a position, but he had a pretty big falling out with Hasbro not long before he died, unfortunately. And he was also working on his White Dragon special. It was supposed to be more about him, basically. But he declined to come back. And of course, sadly, he died as well. And Austin St. John, who is the original Red Ranger, wasn't offered, but I think that's because he's on trial for fraud.
Yeah. So I hear.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily like I'm too bothered. Yeah. I want to like this. Like, some people are raving about this. Some of the reviews, the handful of reviews out there, are leaning towards positive and everything else. And like, fans are being very fanny. I think this was one of the worst Toku experiences I've had in years.
Then, Mikey, let me introduce you to a little show called Tattoo Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills. To be fair, it did give me somewhat similar vibes in places. And I would take the end fight of Tattoo Teenage Alien Fighters over the end of this show any day of the week.
Yeah, okay, so let's break down why I think it was, in my opinion, a massive, massive, complete and utter total failure.
Apart from the grossness right at the start.
Apart from the grossness right at the start, which was gross. The story is really weak.
What is the story?
Rita basically is the evil that was expelled from Rita in space, fuses with an alpha robot, and now she's going to travel back in time and get rid of the Rangers. But really, the story is that Trainee's daughter is really, really murder angry.
Mm-hmm.
And wants to kill people. Specifically Rita and the monsters, which Billy is weirdly against, despite the fact he's killed a ton of monsters.
Lots.
And these are like resurrected monsters from when he killed them originally. They're old TV monsters. So it's very, very strange to me that there's a bit of a fight. Like they have two of them captured, and just like she wants to kill them. No, we can't kill them. Why? And they say kill in this, by the way. But no, we can't kill them. Why? Because it would be wrong. And then they find out, oh, we have to kill them anyway to undo the spell, because they have suit actors for green, red, and pink, and the rest, and they spend most of it shrunk down in a little bag, and like they constantly talk about saving Tommy. Yeah. Not just actually Lightning Collection specifically.
Oh, were they actually based? Okay, that's fun. Okay.
Yeah, they use a lot of toy props, like a lot of toy props in this. There's no new props whatsoever in this. I think there's a new undersuit.
Are the monsters alive? Because they're usually made out of clay, right?
They don't deal with it.
Okay.
They look cheap. And badly made, in my opinion. Robo Rita's really badly done as a design.
Yeah.
I really, really dislike that face design. And there's so much more you could have done. Like, she's had so many actresses at this stage. Just have like an actress in there who can emote. The production, writing, audio, all of that, it was not given any extra budget. Really, it was given over to the main crew who do modern Power Rangers. So audio mixing, set making, direction, everything else. That's why it looks so cheap. Because it is trying to do a movie-length thing with the budget of a half-hour show, basically. Most of these characters their actors have not worked in media in a long time, or they work in small enough roles. They don't have very big on-screen presences. I think Walter Jones, he acts a bit more than the rest. I think he did a good job, but David Jost barely acts anymore. He's a producer, he's a director type these days.
Yeah, David was pretty rough.
I think it really, really shows. Yeah. I think they gave him pretty poor performances. And I also think the direction was very, very bad, because Johnny Young Bosch gave a really bad performance, and he is a very good actor.
Oh my God.
And I remember he wasn't given great stuff to do, but he gave a great performance. But the direction here feels really bad. The writing in general is very weak. The dialogue deliveries is very weak. The action has a ton of cuts, and it's very clearly it's cutting to hide the fact that the action direction and the special effects budget isn't very high.
Yeah. So
it's trying to say, oh, action is happening, but we don't want you to spend your eyes too long because you're going to see a lot of seams. The Zord fight is inexcusable. In my opinion,
you described it as the fight from the original movie against Ivan Ooze, and I was like, "There's no way that can be true." And then I saw clips of it and went, "Oh, Mikey wasn't lying." Huh?
No, I'm really not. It has basically you were looking at in terms of rigging and everything else. You were looking at early '90s level CGI.
It reminded
someone I saw online say it was the best CGI in a Sentai. Anything, and I was just like, are you high?
Yes. I don't know.
Wild Force stuff looks better.
Is it unfair to say that, when it's running, that it reminded me a little bit of Energon run animations?
Yeah, that was my first thought.
Oh, okay.
There's very clearly only two joints.
Yeah.
And also the CAD models are the Zord the Zap CAD models.
What do you mean the Zap? What's that mean?
So do you know the Zord Ascension project?
That's where the
Zord figures.
Is that where? No, okay. I thought you meant where they went back to the original show and they did stuff.
No, the Lightning Collection. The Lightning Collection Megazord.
Okay. It's based on that.
The one that had the NFT.
Right.
Yeah, that's what the they use those CAD models. They mess them up a little bit, but they use those CAD models.
Right.
But I've never seen in a modern TV show a full CGI motion that moves that bad. Like, there's no money behind this.
No.
Zero budget. This show has zero budget, and in every single way it shows to me. And I think it's a huge disappointment.
It's weird because Power Rangers
like,
seems to be a brand that they keep pumping out, but they never give any money to, ever. Like,
to some extent, Hasbro's not too happy with it at the moment.
Well, if you don't put any money behind it, what do you expect?
No. But yeah, it's all Netflix, so every Power Ranger show is coming out on Netflix from now on. But this was one where I was just like, really? I think it's inexcusable how bad it is.
Yeah.
It's not fun bad.
No.
That's the thing. It's not enjoyably bad. It's not like, haha, it's just depressingly bad.
Do you think
nothing, in my opinion, came together?
Do you think if, because of the lower budget, do you think that they made it a bit more tongue-in-cheek, it would have been a bit more fun instead of playing it deadly serious?
I think if they decided not to be gross and just had the Yellow Ranger be shrunk with everyone else, I think it would have worked better. And I think if they'd had a bit of a tongue-in-cheek thing, if they had a few in-jokes, if they'd been, like, you know, aware of the fact they didn't have a budget and they played that up a little bit, that might have, I mean, it wouldn't, I just like, I was really surprised by how bad it is.
I did like the new Yellow Ranger girl doing her martial arts, I guess, in her back garden. And I was just like, I'm so...
Oh, she's a world martial arts champion. She's never acted before.
What? Are you kidding? Like, she was like throwing out punches and moves and stuff in that scene, and I was like, there's no way this lady could like knock over a piece of grass. She looked so unconvincing.
She could kick your ass from here to Hong Kong.
How did that not transfer over? How did she look so bad at martial arts then?
Direction, Andy. Direction, because the action directors in modern Power Rangers don't direct good martial arts in general, because they tend nowadays to hire more people with more on the acting side than the martial arts side, despite the fact that usually they're not very good at either, in my opinion.
I thought you said erection, not direction, the first time, and I was like, why can't it have erections, Andy? I was like, what? Erections? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, what a shame.
That to me, that says so much about like how important directing is.
It shows you how good Toei is as well. Holy shit. How good is Toei?
Oh yeah. Like comparing the action scenes to this to like the O's 10th anniversary.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, and you know, I am an apologist for that as well. But also like the difference in the acting quality in something like that.
Oh man.
Like, it's embarrassing how much better those two actors did than the whole cast here.
I think this felt very fan filmy in a lot of ways.
Very fan film. That's a great way of putting it. It felt like something you made for YouTube.
And if it was just a thing made for YouTube,
there are better things. There are better things made for YouTube. That's the problem.
Yeah. Man, weird.
Strange
beast.
So yeah, unfortunately, I'm not happy with it. Some people are very happy with it. I'm very happy for them.
Why
but
do you
I can
think
only
people
give
are
my
happy
opinion.
with it? Why are they happy with it? What points did you see that they enjoyed about it? Do you know?
I think it's because when I was watching I watched some reactions to the trailers, and people burst into tears because these characters mean so much to people of a certain generation. They were beyond formative. Hell, they were beyond formative for me. So much of my interests are influenced by what I was doing in 1993. I think people are having a very strong emotional response, and I think that's fine. I just wish that the people making this had respected them enough to make the product good enough for that emotional response.
Okay.
Because I think the people who like it are not at fault. I think it's the fact that the people making it did not respect the people who would be watching this enough.
You think it'll be one of those things in like maybe a few years' time when they come back to it? If they come back to it, they'll maybe go, "Oh no, what was this?" Once the glasses have come off a bit, the sheen, I should say.
I think it's something people won't come back to very often.
Yeah, I mean the people who like you say really like it.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean, though. But I think it'll live in the rose-tinted glasses. But there's going to be a part of them that doesn't come back to it. in my opinion. The other thing I watched this week was Picard season 3 finale of the weirdly good season 3. I'm going to go spoilers in this because it's really hard to talk about anything in this without spoilers.
Yeah.
So I would say take 5-10 minutes, go get a cup of tea. I'm going to talk about toys after this. So it was the Borg all along. Specifically, it was the Borg Queen. We get to see her big plan, which is basically... I was very confused for a little bit, and then someone said, like, oh, it's the Queen from Janeway. And it's just like, oh my god, it is. And I checked with the interview, yeah, like after Voyager, basically the Borg died. The Borg were dying off because Janeway fucked over the Borg. And I was just like, she totally would fuck over the Borg. That's why the Borg were just not like really relevant and were like really nerfed. At least that's what they're saying now. Obviously, I think there was a very different plan between season 2 and season 3. But so I really like the practical design on that, like the rib cage and like this immobile upper torso kind of thing. Unfortunately, in contrast, I thought Jack's Borg suit was really cheap.
Yeah, it looked fine. I think it probably would have looked okay if they lit it in a certain way.
Yeah,
maybe painted it up a bit more.
On, like
yeah, definitely makeup because he looked fine. It didn't look like it was a problem that he was bugged.
It didn't look like he was integrated into machines. It looked like he was wearing a suit.
Yeah, 100%. No. Yeah,
like he was a Power Ranger. I thought Patrick Stewart did a really good job with the performance in this, really playing up the fact that he used to be connected to the Borg, that he now cared about his son, all that. I thought the cast in general did a really good job. Raffi survived, unfortunately, but we can't have everything. Seven was really good in this. I like the idea of Seven having her own ship, which is basically a collection of weirdos that she's gone like, we're just going to do our own thing. Ending on Q, I thought was an interesting turn. Just like, and like going like, yeah, well, I'm a non-linear basic god thing. I don't really follow your damn rules.
That's Terry going to ignore everything from season 2 because it was shit, and no one liked it. No one liked it. Don't worry, we're ignoring it as well. Fuck it. Okay.
And yeah, there's very much that.
Thank God.
But he said that, he said it like in several interviews, like, I wanted this to be the goodbye to Next Generation crew that they never got because he thought Nemesis was bad.
I mean, I would say All Good Things was better than this, and that was a really good way.
Yes, all good things eats this thing alive.
Yeah. That's a really good two-parter finale. But this is definitely better than Nemesis. Definitely better than Nemesis. Yeah. Not a high bar.
Is it better than First Contact?
Well, First Contact's a weird one, isn't it? Because I describe First Contact as a fun Star Trek movie, but it's not a very Star Trek-y film because it is just Patrick Stewart who wanted to be John McClane, effectively.
Action. Yeah. Overall, obviously, they don't want to do any more Picard stuff, but they clearly want to set up for a sequel with, like, the USS Enterprise,
it's meant to be
Captain
called
Seven,
Legacy,
blah, 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 blah.
But we don't know anything if that's actually going to happen.
I mean, I'm totally okay with Seven coming back as a captain in a show. I'm fantastic with that. No more Raffi because she's really. Don't get back together with her. You're better than her. Get a better girlfriend. You can get a better girlfriend. Find Taurus. She'd probably dump Paris for Seven on any day of the week. But
poor Paris, Jesus, what's he done wrong?
Well, like, I don't know. Just like, would you? If someone said like you can date Tom Paris, you can date 7 of 9.
Yeah, but like 7 of 9 is really hot and a lady. It's not exactly It's not a fair thing to ask me.
Yeah, and have you? I've been listening to his podcast, but Robert Duncan McNeil has not aged as well as Jerry Ryan.
Tom's fun. Like he does cars. He likes weird, stupid sci-fi shit.
You
so
hang
there's
out
some
with
fun
Tom.
there.
You hang out with Tom.
Yeah.
You hang out with Tom. You date Tom for like 6 weeks.
Oh my god! Wow, that's mean, Mikey. That's mean.
You don't date 7 for 6 weeks.
You just fuck Tom Paris and throw him away like a used sticky sock. Yeah. My god.
Yeah, but technically, like, she shouldn't be able to date Raffi, by the way, because Raffi's now under her.
Oh yeah, technically, yeah.
So
yeah.
Overall, I think I've said this a million times. I do think it's a 6 out of 10 series. Season, rather, not series. Definitely not series. It's got some 7 out of 10 moments. It's got a good few little 8 out of 10 moments, and it's got 1 or 2 9 out of 10s. Doesn't have any 10 out of 10s. I think the original cast was great. I think it was at its strongest when it was most Star Trek, which was the first 4 episodes, which was mostly just characters bouncing off each other.
Yeah.
I think it got at its weakest bit when it tried to be more modern Star Trek, which was just action, dumb action, action, dumb action. The changelings were kind of wasted, in my opinion, because they really didn't matter at the end. There was no the Borg didn't really need the changelings for any of this. I would like, if they do Legacy, if this is going to be its own thing, I would like if they did more with the wider fiction. But if they kept this kind of tone, this is a good starting point, but they need to build on it. But I really have to say again, it is legitimately shocking to me how much better this is than season 1 and 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, it says so much about how much of a drag Goldsman and Kurtzman must have been on everyone else involved. And how much bringing in those really fresh out of like writing school writers was a bad idea for season 2. It's just so surprising how bad those first 2 seasons were and how much better this one is. It shouldn't. I've never seen anything like it, if I'm honest. But yeah, so 6 out of 10. I think it's all right, which is a huge step up. I'll do these really quick because we must be devouring time. So I got a box from Grant on Twitter.
Oh my god!
Thank you, Grant. And this was bouncing around Ireland a couple of times, but it finally arrived, and he was basically doing a big clear out, and for a really stupidly reasonable price. I won't tell you how much, but not a lot of money at all. He sent me a bunch of toys. One is the Kingdom Beast Wars Megatron, which I wanted to do for a custom idea when I have the setup for a custom. So nothing new about this. It's I've already talked about the mold. Get me the golden disc from the Ark as well, which are nice to go with them. Weird thing, really loose in comparison to Tyrannotron. Like really loose. Like Tyrannotron's got like detented hips, and these have the same detents, but they don't catch. And it's way looser in the hand as well. Like head's really loose, legs are loose. Like it just seems like they improved the QC when they went for Tyrannotron.
Maybe they upped it because it was a licensed product.
Maybe. But yeah, so that's there. Then there is the Core Class Thundercracker with the weird transformation. Yeah. The base figure is fine. It's not amazing in terms of articulation or anything like that, or even aesthetic, but really the engineering on this is very clever. I've never seen a Seeker do this before, the stuff this one pulls off. So that's why you get this. You get this for the engineering. The way the chest works, you basically spin the entire robot around on its wings, for want of a better term. I wouldn't exactly say it blows my mind the way it has some other people, but it's very clever. And it's just a fun way of getting around some of the limitations at this scale, So, not much else to say about him. Now, into something a bit more in-depth. The Behold Leader Galvatron, which is the translucent purple scanning Galvatron that I really liked.
Oh, you got it finally. Oh, nice. You've been wanting that for a while.
Again, I have, and I was never going to pay the amount of money it was going for, but really got it. I love this thing. It looks so cool in person. It's a really nice effect. All the white lines. There's a lot of translucent plastic, but lots of joints are made out of proper plastic. There's a few bits that are making me nervous in the transformation, which is not intuitive, by the way. It's a bit more complex than you might think. But posability, solid. Not amazing, but solid. Good aesthetics. I like both modes. Just really heavy as well. I was shocked when I first handled it how much weight is in this thing. Very much a figure, though. If I paid leader price, I would be unhappy because I do not think this is a 65 euro toy.
Right.
However, I do think this is definitely not a Voyager toy in terms of the amount of engineering and the amount of plastic in there. We really need that ultra class middle ground again. We really need that 40, 50 euro middle ground where we can stick toys like this. Because we're literally just having something. Yeah, but like we're literally having like either a toy like this size but not as complicated, or a toy this size but more complicated, and they're doubling the price.
Yeah.
And this is not. Yeah, but like, yeah, this is a good toy. This is a fun toy. I really like it. I really love the aesthetic. Remarkably good. Really, really good. I would honestly say if you're getting it, get this version if you can. But obviously, it's the hardest one to get. I got super fucking lucky. Like, oh my god, I'm just holding in front of my computer screen, and now the way the light's passing through them is like super cool. But yeah,
Remember, chat,
Mikey
is one of these people who frequently goes, "Why are they making a translucent version of this figure?"
Yeah, and you know what? This is why. They made a good one. But again, I would not have said buy it at full price. No.
Mikey has turned into his own worst enemy.
I have turned into Lorenzo Bonaventura.
Oh my god, you're not that bad, hopefully.
Yeah. The other one, again, I got for a stupidly low price. I think I don't remember if I offered more, but I felt like I should. I'm also like cheap, so there's that. But it's the Commander class Stylinks.
Oh, I didn't think you'd be interested in that.
Who I got. He is, like I said, it was just like super, super cheap.
Huh.
And also he's got like panel lining done in him, which looks really, really nice. Really, really good job done in it. So here's a surprise. He's great.
Wow.
Every single joint is ratcheted. I'm just moving the legs now. And I mean every joint. He's got loads of posability in his chicken neck and in the lynx legs and the tail and the wings, so he's really expressive. He's also got lots of hidden ball joints. Like he's got ball joints in both heads, which I didn't really realize were going to be there. The transformations are simple, but satisfying when you do the whole combined one. I think transforming the individual components isn't as satisfying because it just feels like you're doing half a transformation. The links component I like a lot. Weirdly enough, you know the blue bit, basically the bit that like has that's
bit?
supposed to be like he's the shuttle carrier mode thing.
Yeah.
It looks weirdly good without the jet on top of it. It's very strange. In comparison, the jet looks fine when it's a jet, but it looks really not very good when it's chicken. I think the chicken is the weakest thing about this. The launching platform, though, again, surprisingly good looking and surprisingly fun. Again, he's very heavy and he's very big. He's not quite as tall as Rexy, but he's still like not a small boy by any stretch of the imagination. Would I say he was worth original money? I would say he was worth the original money more than Rodimus was.
Okay.
However, again, I would never felt comfortable paying the original money based on my own experience with him. It's one of those things like if someone said they bought him brand new, I would say like, you know what, fair play. But with my own thing about how to spend money with these things, I would say I wouldn't have been happy. But he's also one where I say like, I can see why other people were satisfied with the purchase. So yeah, fun toy. Like again, stupidly good price. Really, really grateful to Grant. He then, like during the week, said, "I could send you Tripticon," and I was just like, "No, please, I can't spend any more money." No.
You did want one at one point.
I do. Yes, I still want one, but I'm just putting it back in the shuttle as I talk to have something to do with my hands. But yeah, no, this is the most Transformers I've got in ages.
Wow, yeah, look at Mikey.
Yeah, and yeah, it felt good to be buying again, and two, feel like I'm engaged with buying again. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be making a ton of purchases with this again, but it's just fun. It was just fun. I've had a lot of fun with them as desk toys.
We just need media to kind of back them up at this point, I feel.
Exactly. Something to draw you in, or in the case of stuff like Earthspark, something where it doesn't feel like they cheaped out.
Oh, you mean toy-wise, yeah.
Andy, what about you? What did you get up to this week?
First, I'll go over some of the comments that were made during your talk on the Power Rangers thingy. Netflix/Hasbro, this is from XL Hedge. Netflix/Hasbro should have paid Toei for the CG for the Megazord or commissioned a reproduction of the original suit. They were never going to do that. That's too much money.
Well, the original suit, Toei remade the Megazord suit for the crossover movie around 2014 for Kyoryuger. So there is a working Megazord suit, but the cost of shipping it over, insuring it, protecting it, hiring a suit actor, all that jazz, way outside their budget.
Yeah. It was never going to do it. At least the Rangers with stabbing/cutting were allowed to actually do actual violent contacts in fights.
That's true.
Yeah. Andy, remember JDF?
They do stab people.
Jason David Frank has a martial artist back in the day and had to learn how to learn to fight scenes. I mean, that's fair, yeah. Real martial arts don't always translate great to TV fights.
That is true.
Yeah. Also, a specific message from XL Hedge to you, Mikey. Go watch Wubby.
Oh, yes, season 10 wrapped up. Our season 9 read. I've got to sit down and watch that for next week.
I guess that's on your watch
list. No idea. I have no idea what's going on, except there's a weird meme saying that Ruby's homophobic. And I don't know what the context of that is, but sure.
Sure. That's a weird meme, but okay. General Techno, when you were talking about Picard, what I loved about that was Janeway's legacy stuck. So that's talking about the stuff there.
I love the fact of all the captains, who's the one you don't fuck with? Who's not Cisco? Cisco will punch you. Janeway will make you regret it.
Well, Cisco's evolved basically into a god, so yeah, he's out.
Yeah, but... Well, he's supposed to come back because, I remember that Avery Brooks was really uncomfortable because it fed into the narratives of the black man leaving his child behind. So he said, you have to give him a line like he's coming back one day.
I mean, his child's
he
like a
insisted
man.
On that.
Jake's like a man, though.
Oh yeah, but Cassidy was pregnant in the last episode.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Janeway, don't fuck with Janeway. She's crazy.
Could have been worse. Could have been the Locutus suit. Yeah, I mean, the thing with the Locutus suit is that was from the 90s. You know, this is 2023. We have evolved since vacuum formed pieces of plastic on a Velcro suit. It's changed a bit. I mean, the Borg have changed thanks to Nemesis drastically from that point. And bless the Borg.
Oh, yeah.
They were an interesting. I think the Borg for the time were fine. But when Nemesis came around, they kind of got an upgrade visually. Apparently, Matalus wanted to get a bunch more cameos, but didn't have the budget. Janeway, Harry Kim. Oh, really? You want Harry? Okay. And Soji/Data scene.
I feel like he wouldn't have had to struggle to get Garrett Wong in, considering he's literally made his entire career now about Star Trek.
Yeah. I mean, if you were going to say who would you prefer to get in, Garrett Wong or Tim Russ, I'd be like Tim Russ. Give me Tim Russ. Tim Russ.
But
Tim Russ
I would take Garrett. I would take Garrett Wong if it turned out he still hadn't been promoted.
He's still Ensign Harry Kim. I'd be down for that as well. I don't want Kim to ever amount to anything. Kim needs to always be a failure and always getting into near-death situations because he's died so many times, or nearly died so many times in Voyager.
Yep.
My
and also,
God.
Any woman he is attracted to must be a monster.
And hate him, and eventually leave him. It is the only way. The only thing that saved Harry Kim was the color of his shirt. If that was a red shirt, he would have been dead. But he was in yellow, orange, so he was okay. It saved him. Hang on, let me scroll back up. Mikey, stop denying Trepticon already. How many people have offered to get you one? I would imagine not many.
Like 2?
Yeah, 2.
And like one was in a bad place for money, and the other was like, hey, can you imagine the customs on this? I'm trying not to.
If you want to directly send money to Mikey's PayPal, I'm sure he, if you DM him on Twitter, You can pop him over some cash, and I'm sure
I
Mikey will
would
take it.
love a Triptychon, but
Yeah.
I need to pay bills. I have my car insurance coming up.
Mikey's really selfish. He needs to quote unquote eat and live in a home and not die. It's really gross. Wine. It was entirely interesting. It was entirely a money thing. That's from General Techno. Not that Garrett wanted too much more. That the budget wasn't there. Yeah. I mean, I think you could easily tell that the budget for Picard was much lower, but that's okay. I think they did a great job. He was going to be captain, though. No. You can't have him. You can't have him as captain. Harry Kim can never be captain.
Ensign Harry Kim.
Ensign
It has
forever.
to be, and he has to be on Tuvok's ship. Captain Tuvok, and over in the corner you just have Harry still in the same position. In fact, Tuvok's actually designed, everything else is very modern, up to date, and there's just this one corner on the left at the back, which is just Harry's spot.
It's
designed to look exactly like Voyager.
That section of the ship and Harry need to look like Will Riker from... Do you remember the episode where Worf goes through the parallel dimensions and he sees the Will Riker from the universe that has the Borg? And it's just Will Riker with crazy hair. Well, I want that for Harry Kim. His station, like you say, is just blown up, dirty and rotten, because Tuvok told him don't touch it. It's up to him to fix it. Fixy shit, Harry Kim. What saved him was making a sexiest man list. I don't remember that. Is that something the actor did?
So they were thinking about getting rid of someone at the end of season 3 because they didn't really have the budget to have an extra character come in. And Harry Kim was the least developed. Everything else,
wasn't it?
Yeah. Because at that episode, they were kind of like, "Are we going to kill him off or not?" And except he was like top 50 times top 50, or People Magazine's top 50 sexiest people in America at the time, and he got a lot of press. And then for years they said the reason Kes went was because they needed to get rid of someone, so they got rid of her, and people were very unhappy because they really liked Kes.
No, Kes was
despite
shit.
the fact Voyager didn't exactly use Kes very much.
No, she was shit. She was a
but here's the thing: for very, very recently, they revealed the reason they got rid of her is because she was completely out of control. She was drinking, she was on drugs and everything else, and she was being a nightmare behind screen.
Oof.
And basically they had to get rid of her, but they didn't want to. They didn't want to have bad press, so they came up with this story. They got rid of her for the same reason. They got rid of her to bring in Jerry Ryan.
Yeah. Damn.
Wow. That's actually really recent. I think that came out in the last year or so.
That's sad, but understandable. In terms of what I did this week, I also watched Picard episode 10. For me, there were a lot of moments where I went, yeah, okay, whatever. It doesn't make sense. It's very silly. Why is there a sequence where they fly into a cube with a galaxy class starship? That's not a maneuverable ship. That is a very big fat
but Data had a gut feeling.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, that's why I just kind of wave it away and go, whatever. It's stupid. Don't think about it. They really wanted that shot of the Enterprise swooping overhead to beam them up, which again, I was like, how is that a thing? How is that, whatever. It's fine. Picard can plug himself into the Borg hive mind and just unplug himself and he's okay. One of the funny bits was, when they get Jack back, and he comes back onto the bridge of the Enterprise.
Oh yeah.
And he doesn't have the implant on the side of his face, the Locutus implant. I thought, so at some point from being transported up to the Enterprise, from walking from transporter room 3 probably up to the bridge, he just ripped it off of his face. And I'm like,
yeah, it does look like that.
Your mum's up there. She could have just taken it off. She's a doctor. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
I don't think you can just pull that stuff off. That would hurt. That might take half your face off. It's whatever. It's fine. It's silly. I agree. It's a 6 out of 10 show. Very much a 6 out of 10 show in total. It's good. It's not amazing. There's a lot of things which it isn't better than, but hey, it's better than some episodes of, Next Generation. It's better than Skin of Evil. It's better than that. Better than the really disturbing episode where Tasha Yar has to fight another princess lady with a poison punching glove.
Yeah.
One of the most racist episodes by accident. that Star Trek's ever made. I think they said in features like they wanted to do them as aliens, and it would have made it way less racist. It's like, no, it's fine. It's like, oh, okay, no, it's fine.
It just like they did it. They could not have made it. Like it started off like, okay, we don't want it to be racist, and then we just kept on making bad choices. We kept on hiring these people who are just like going to make like, oh, we've hired all these actors. Can they do kind of African sounding accents? Yeah. Okay, why don't we just make it space?
Can they wear African outfits as well? Ish. I mean, yeah, okay.
I suppose. Can they try to use women as currency?
Yeah.
We don't have to do that.
We're gonna.
Roddenberry's just sitting there going like, make them sell the women.
I mean, I think if they just slapped on a coat of blue onto them, just blue paint, nothing else, maybe shave their eyebrows off, it would have helped. Blue man group them. It would have helped. It still would have been weird, but it wouldn't have been just like, oh man. But this, like I say, this is better than that, which again, not a high bar. I'll take it. I said to myself as well, as soon as I finished, that was better than Nemesis. That was better than Insurrection. I was in that boat of, is it better than First Contact? I'm like, it's hard to say. I wouldn't say it's, I think I prefer Generations more than this. But Generations has a lot of issues.
I don't like Generations.
I don't like Generations either. But there are elements to it that I'm like, this is okay. There are parts of Generations which I'm okay with. There's just
there's some good actors in Generations.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like this. There's some really good things in there, and there's some really good things in here, and there's some kind of crappy stuff in it both as well. I'd take this over like any of the Abrams stuff as well from that point on easily. And I was happy to see Q. I was like, hey, my boy, he's not dead, and he's thrown back quippy lines. John Delancey, I love that man. Weird outfit. It looked like he was getting like the Thanos look, you know, when he's a farmer, that kind of robed look. I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. I don't mind. I would have liked him in the Star Trek uniform because I think he looks fucking dashing in a Star Trek uniform. But yeah, God, surprisingly okay. I would definitely recommend. The other thing that I did this week was I finished off watching Enterprise Season 4. Season 3 is better. I like Season 3 a lot more than Season 4. Season 4 has a really bad start, which is they go back in time and they fight weird vampire-looking Nazis from the future. I'm like, that's not a good episode. It's a long two-part. There are some really good two-parters in here, like the forming of the Federation, like it's the Marauder episode where the Romulans are using a ship that can disguise itself as other ships to cause turmoil in the quadrant. I think that's a really good two-parter because it helps show the species getting together, and it's like the bare bones of the Federation working together for the first time. Then there are bad episodes, like the one I've used on screen. I don't like the parallel universe episode in Enterprise. I think it's pretty crap. It doesn't have the fun factor that they did on Deep Space Nine. And I think by this point for me, I was like, we don't have to do the mirror universe every single Star Trek thing. Doesn't have to do that.
But don't we?
No, we really don't. It's played out.
Could we?
We do. I mean, we do. There's a thing that definitely happens.
Have I told you about a show called Discovery?
I was going to say, because even fucking Discovery couldn't stick their fucking nose out of it. And they want to make a whole mirror universe show? Or use a mirror universe character and do something with it? I don't know. It's not good. I wasn't a fan of that. I wasn't a fan of the, 3-part episode with Sung and the enhanced humans, you know, given the prelude to Khan and stuff like that. I don't like that 3-parter either. I don't like that. And I wish they could have taken some of those episodes. And originally I saw the end of Enterprise and didn't like it because it's not its own show. Because it focuses on like the episode with the Pegasus from Enterprise. Sorry, from Next Generation.
That's weird. That's always weird. It's always weird to me. That's the episode they picked.
Yeah. The thing is, I would have been more okay with it if they'd just done one little thing, and if they'd because it ends with like Archer coming out to give the first speech of how the Federation forms, and they go end program, and I'm like, fuck you. You should have just let Archer have his big speech, because that would have been a good wrap-up for the show. It's him giving the speech to like form the Federation, but they're like, nah, it doesn't matter. I know. Deanna goes, memorize this speech, which almost feels like, fuck off. I already know this. I'm not going to bother listening to him. Not this monumental point in the Federation. I think season 4 would have been a really good season 2 of Enterprise. Like you have season 1 as the Vulcans are antagonistic and they're kind of assholes. Why are they kind of assholes? Season 2, you find out that the reason is because they're trying to the High Council's working with the Romulans, reunification, all that kind of jazz. And season 2 is the forming of the Federation. Or you have the season 3, and then you have season 4, which is the forming of the Federation. So so you'd have season 4 as season 3 as the forming of the Federation, and a few extra stories here and there, and maybe you end it there, or maybe you do something else for season 4. I wanted more. I wanted more forming of the Federation. Maybe like meeting some of the like Bolians, or the weird catfish person with the breather mouth from Next Gen. Whatever that species was called. Do you remember them, Mikey?
I don't remember what they were called.
No, I don't remember what they're called. But you know what they look like. If we had more of that stuff,
yeah,
I would have been more okay with it. I think Enterprise is a good example of it got really interesting, and it felt like they had an idea of what they wanted to do, but they only found out what they wanted to do right at the end of the show. And that's disappointing, because season 1 and 2 are rough. Yeah, they are hard things to watch, I find. Yeah, they are not pleasant. They're dirty.
Yeah.
And could do with a clean. The only other thing I did this week, because I don't think I talked about it last week, was I watched Dragon Ball Superheroes, which is a really stupid, redundant name. They shouldn't have called it that.
Superhero.
A super duper pooper nooper hero.
Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan.
Oh, God. No.
Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan God evolved.
Do you remember Super Saiyan 4? That was a good...
I try to every day.
That was a good evolution, because it was visually different, and it was and it made sense. It made sense on the basis that it was Yuzaru form condensed down. So it was controlled. I was like, that's neat. But yeah, the movie, I thought was okay. I thought the movie was okay. I thought the CGI, which I was like, oh no. It turned out good. Everything was on model. Was it better than Broly? Broly, visually, I think they're both different styles, and I don't mind either of them visually. They're just doing two different things. They were luckily able to recreate Toriyama style in CG quite well. And I think didn't they do this recently with another Toriyama thing? In a series, Mikey.
He's got a new movie. He's got a new movie coming out.
It must be that, because I'm sure I saw something
that's
from
doing
Toriyama that was doing this. Now the new the main story of Piccolo being the best dad ever continues to be good. I like that. Then they rip it away from him and say, "No, Piccolo, you need to be irrelevant again. We gotta prop up the Saiyans once more time." It's like, oh, but Piccolo though, could he not have a win? Has Piccolo... when was the last time Piccolo had a win? I don't know.
I don't know. Every time he's had a win, it's been about like someone then murders him.
Yeah, it was Raditz then.
Nap.
Because he killed Goku, but Raditz did die. Thus, it was a win for Piccolo.
Yeah.
And then, like you say, with Nappa, he died. Like full
and
dead.
Then with Frieza,
he died.
Got his ass kicked.
No, he died. He got a whole
And then with Cell... Yeah, oh no, he didn't die. Because he didn't get Wish back for that one. He was just, And then Cell, he got his ass kicked.
Android 17, he almost, but then Cell took it away from him at the end. It's just like, that's an L. That's not a win. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Boo because he's a fucking joke in the Boo saga. Like, he's there for... I heard him described as the meme reactor Piccolo in the Majin Buu saga. It's like, yeah. He does a lot of pog face.
He beat the other Nameks in the Namekians in the Universe Survival Tournament.
But then taken out by 2 bugs, literally.
Yes, taken out by 2 bugs.
The joke, Lamau. Piccolo, you could see Lamau.
As I said, I think 3/4 of this movie, which is the 3/4 about Piccolo, excluding the stupid wish for the power-ups.
Yes, that was
it's actually quite fun.
Yeah.
Orange Piccolo. It's actually called Orange Piccolo.
I'm not a big fan of Orange Piccolo. again, it felt like a color swap. They did change his outline a little bit, but at a distance, if you were like a decent distance from the screen, you wouldn't be able to tell visuals. It just looks the same.
Yeah.
Gohan gets his beast form, which is shit. It's shit. It's just Super Saiyan 2 Gohan,
Andy,
just with grey hair.
No. Andy, you don't understand. There was this like saga, right? Called the Cell Saga.
Yeah, it was
that
really
was very,
good.
very popular.
Loved it.
Was people tell you that it was like the culmination of years of characterization, and I tell them that they're talking nonsense. But it was really, really popular. And then what if you did that, right?
Yes.
But everything was a different color.
Oh my god, that's a good point.
And Gohan's color is actually just the color his dad is using at the moment.
Oh, what Ultra Poo Instinct. Man, how much better is Super Saiyan 4 to Ultra Instinct? How much better is that?
Oh, so much better.
Oh my god, so much better.
So, I get the figure arts, but they cost so much money.
Yeah.
But I should get the figure arts Goku actually, just out of protest. But
out of hatred. Fine, I'll pick him up. I don't want him, but fuck you. It's the only way I can get
fucking
him.
Goku. But yeah.
One of the biggest boons to this was they sidelined Vegeta and Goku. I thought that was good. We still got their fight, which felt a little less budget was given to that for some reason. The thing that maybe most annoyed me, apart from the generic fight against Cell what was he called? Cell something?
Cell Max.
Cell Max. That was shit. None of that was good. That was just the most generic movie Dragon Ball stuff you've ever seen.
That was Dragon Ball movie 13.
Which one was 13?
Kind of shit. One with the big yellow bug.
Oh, Tapian's one.
Yeah.
Tapian? Yeah. Yeah. Oddly enough, I guess this is comparable to that movie, because that movie is not terrible, but then it has a shit fight at the end, where it's just against a big goopy monster thing, which means nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, the thing that annoyed me more than Cell Max was at the end, the end credit sequence where Vegeta, quote unquote, finally wins. You don't see it, and it's a joke. And I'm like, this is Vegeta. This should be one of Vegeta's crowning moments. This should be his his David sculpture, his Mona Lisa. He's finally done it. He's finally beaten Goku. It's just Lamau. Haha, you didn't see it though. Poor Vegeta. Poor Vegeta. But yeah, generally, if someone said, would you recommend watching this movie? This and the Broly one are some of the better Dragon Ball movies, to be honest, which is shocking to say.
I think what makes this one work, like Broly works weirdly because it has a good character stuff and then just turns into a massive, really well animated fight scene.
It does go on a little bit longer, that fight scene, but yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what works about this is that it actually feels more like a Dragon Ball movie.
I haven't seen many of the Dragon Ball movies, so I couldn't say.
Well, like in terms of tone, it doesn't feel like it's from Z or Super. Because at the end they go like, oh, he's almost as strong as Goku, blah 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 blah, bullshit. But Lamau, indeed. But like the tone of like wacky hijinks and Piccolo going undercover and Pan pretending she's in danger and Piccolo being really disappointed in Gohan in every conceivable way.
Yes.
That all felt very like low stakes Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I can see that. It was nice actually to have it lower stakes, much lower stakes, and like the not even, it's not just the planet, but the entire universe is going to be completely wiped out. This was like, oh, it's just, maybe the Z fighters will be beaten and killed, but that's it. Maybe the world will be taken over, but at the end of the day, the universe would be fine. And this was all going to fall through for the Red Ribbon Army anyway, because I think at some point they'd figure out that, hey, maybe the Red Ribbon Army were bad.
Yeah, and also like Goku and Vegeta were coming back at some point.
Hey, what's going on here? Why is everybody dead? Oh well, we'll just get the Dragon Balls again.
Yeah, why is everyone dead? Like, they've stopped mourning. There's no mourning period in Dragon Ball universe. It's just like a look of exasperation. I'll go get the radar. You
know what I really wanted to happen as well? I don't think they'd ever do this because they don't ever want to reference GT. I would like to have happened when Bulma wished for her ass to be nice and juicy and tender again. I wish that you saw on one of the Dragon Balls like a small crack form Just a small crack. Because, like, it sounds like Bulma's been abusing the shit out of the Dragon Balls to make herself look
like, she just
vaguely
collects
hot.
them. Here's the thing: she doesn't like wish to be younger. She wishes to look younger.
No, she explained to Broly because then they'd know. Then they'd know. It's like Frieza. He only wants to be 5 centimeters taller because then they'd know. So, yeah, I would have liked it, just a small crack, and then they could in Super they could redo the Omega Shenron stuff because it's bad in GT. It's some interesting ideas, but it's shit. The only
It's a
good thing
better part of GT as well.
What's that?
It's the better part of GT, which is the sad thing.
Yeah, I mean the best bit's Baby. I think Baby stuff is the key bit.
Baby thing is better in my memory, and every time I revisit it, I get a little more disappointed.
Sure, I mean, do you want to watch the first part of GT?
I never watched the first part of GT.
Yeah, exactly.
The first time I saw it.
No one wants to do that. So your choices are Baby, because you don't talk about the first part. You do Baby. You've got maybe some fluff episodes, which we don't talk about either. You've got Super Android 17, which I like for the fun factor, but in terms of story is pretty bad. And then you've got Omega Shenron.
That design, though.
Oh yeah, I love Super 17. I love Super 17's design, but apart from, I wish they did more. They have all these villains coming back, and Hitler for some reason have all these villains coming back.
Yes, Hitler was back.
He came back, and I wish they did something more. Like with Nappa coming back, Vegeta could have had a conversation with Nappa, but they didn't. They went, I'll just kill you again, Nappa, get fucked. It's like, oh. You know, I don't know why as well, but over the week, I was annoyed by the fact that Goku's died loads of times, but he's never gone to see his dad. Or Grandpa Gohan. Not once. Not once.
Why would he?
Because he loves Grandpa Gohan. There was a whole thing in Dragon Ball where he was like, Grandpa Gohan's back from the dead.
No, he doesn't.
No.
He's Goku. He lives in the moment. He's dead. He never thinks about him.
But he used to be nice. He didn't used to be a monster.
No.
He didn't used to be the villain.
You know, if you're not directly in front of Goku, he doesn't think about you.
You could have made the Goku Black series like not him being Zamasu, but you could have made him just like Goku's just become really battle hungry and will just fuck everybody over. That might have been a better idea.
Goku went into space training and then forgot who everyone was.
And then he just wanted to kill everybody or beat them up because he's like, you're strong, I'll kill you. This will be fun.
And they're like, oh my god, what happened to him? He's just like, you were out of his immediate sight for 10 minutes.
He fell off a waterfall again and bonked his head again. There you go.
How have they never done that story?
Well, where he gets rebonked and like his original Saiyan instinct comes out. I don't know. It seems like an obvious thing to do. Maybe it's because they've had Turles and they're like, hey, that's kind of just evil Goku, so let's not do that.
Turles is weird.
Movie, you know. So, you mentioned figure art. I did a silly thing as well this week because I was like, you know who I like? I like Cooler. I really like Cooler. I don't like his character because he has no character. He's just Frieza again. But I love his design. I love Super Cooler in his big thick form. So I was like, what's the figure art like?
Xenomorph Cooler.
Yeah, it's great. Oh, it's such a cool design. I was like, what's he like? And I saw like pre-ordered prices and what he was costing back in the day in like Kapow toys, and it was like 60 quid. I was like, that's okay. Yeah, I could buy Cooler for 60 quid potentially. So I go on eBay because you know he's nowhere. He's like 140 on eBay. I'm like, oh, never mind. What a shame. I was interested for a second, but then yeah, I went nope, never mind. I'd really like a Cooler, but not for that kind of money. Get fucked. Jesus. I could get Jiren.
Good luck enjoying your idiot.
My generic designed creature. I want them to redo it.
You see, he's a gray.
They need to redo a good Cell because they haven't done a good Perfect Cell for. Well, they've only done one release of Perfect Cell, and he looks bad now. They need a new one.
And they've just like repainted him a couple of times, didn't they?
Poorly, yeah. And he's like my favorite dude because he's a dick. But yeah, we've got some commenters. Let's go through the commenters. The commenters. As we were gooing and gabbing over some Dragon Ball. Vegeta gets his third win over Goku. Goku never won against Vegeta! !
That is true. That is technically true. Goku has literally never beaten Vegeta in a fight.
Oh my god. Does he not beat him all the time in fights?
Nope, not once. They've had lots of training things where like neither of them came up on top, which is apparently the official thing when they're training. Neither one of them have actually beaten each other in that.
Okay. Until now.
And but in none of the official fights has Vegeta ever lost to Goku.
Huh. I guess it's one of those things in the Buu saga. It's like, but he should have lost because Goku was holding back massively, I suppose.
Yeah, because Super Saiyan 3 was introduced as a last minute thing because they were running out of fucking ideas and they just wanted this thing to go on. And when that story was being told, Goku was not holding back massively.
Man, that story's a mess, the Buu saga. Bless it.
Like, I love the fact that like that's like the Majin Vegeta stuff was done and they got to the end of that and they're just like, shit, I'm out of ideas. New form? New form.
Yeah, whatever.
Let's pretend. Will we give an introduction to it? Let's just say it happened.
He did it. He knew it already.
When he was dead.
I don't know. Yeah, whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Because that fight is so intense. That fight is so fucking intense.
It's the best bit of the Majin Buu saga, easily.
Yeah, and it's like I just love the fact like they didn't fuck it over because they had this long-term plan to just like they fucked it over because they had no idea what to do.
No idea. Saiyan Saga Vegeta put Goku in a body cast. Well, to be fair, Vegeta was in fucked up as well. He was in a little poo-tang for a while as well. But I see what you're saying.
He nearly murdered by Krillin.
The most embarrassing death. How did you die, Krillin? Oh my god. That's worse than a Raditz death. Oh my god. General Techno, I love the opening when Magenta spins the Z Fighters as actual bad guys to Dr. Hedo. Yeah, that's quite fun. Kind of believable as well if you didn't know the Z Fighters. Very easy to believe that they're just weird alien evil people.
Like one of them literally just fights everything and keeps on healing monsters that come from space and telling them, I'm going to heal you. Why? Why not?
I mean, one of them is literally King Piccolo. So people haven't forgotten King Piccolo.
One of them is bad press. You say that. I bet they have.
What?
Because they all forgot that those things existed. Like, no one remembers anything.
Oh. Especially given that if one isn't privy to audience info, those conclusions aren't... Yeah, that's what I said. I would agree there. XL Hedge, Buu Saga Vegeta won because Goku made the mistake of holding back. Oh, yeah, we just mentioned that. General Techno, maybe she'll stop trying to hide her wishes since it's pretty obvious that's what she's doing for her friends now. Oh, she's not doing... maybe she's doing it for Vegeta. Maybe you still got to tap that. I don't know. And Goku would never notice anyway. No, Vegeta would, though. And Bulma doesn't give a shit about what Vegeta knows. Like, Bulma cares what other people think of her.
Bulma cares what Bulma notices.
Yeah. And definitely what other people see, you know. He didn't use...
She's married to Vegeta. She doesn't care anymore.
He didn't used to be a monster. Well, he grew up. Hitler came back to in Janemba's movie, not GT. Oh, was it Janemba's movie? Okay, I like Janemba's movie as well.
Oh no, it wasn't. Yeah, it was Janemba's. It was because it was the wishes for all the dead people, and that's why Vegeta comes back in it.
Some of the movie villains were in GT, weren't they? When they come back, I'm pretty sure Cooler was just in a random shot.
There's
like, Cooler, and then
there's like Cooler and the blue pirate guys there.
Bojack, you mean?
Bojack.
Yeah.
Bojack Horseman. He's in that.
The amazing character of Bojack. What is he? Yar. I'm a pirate.
Yeah, he's kind of like a Cell, right? I mean, like he fights. You know, it's almost like they're really trying to imitate that one really successful scene.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. It's a good scene. But yeah.
Oh, it's a perfectly fine scene, but let it go.
Let it go. Do you have any questions for us this week, Mr. Mikey? Are you all done and dusted? Because I think I covered everything that I was doing this week of Interesto.
I do not, sir. I do not.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for coming on by to the show. Mikey, where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found?
You can find me on Twitter as Irish Paleo. You can contact us on the moonbase2 at gmail.com, or on Twitter and Facebook and Libsyn and everything else. And we will read any comments or anything else you have out when we get them in. I am recording a couple of Squawk boxes in the next couple of weeks, and I should be recording the final IDW retrospective, the very, very delayed IDW retrospective episode. And I should be back on to doing my own woo-woos and things like that in the next couple of weeks as well, but we'll see how that goes.
Cool.
I'll be you, Andy.
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube as Decayed Andy, the Rotten Flesh, not the 10-year period. You can find us on the Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. If you want to join us like Exel Hedge and General Techno and anybody else who's watching at the moment, you can come over to that channels, plural, at 8 o'clock in the evening UK time, and you can join us live here and now. Otherwise, we're on patreon.com/moonbase2, and if you do $2 each month, you get the stuff that Mikey mentioned. You get it early, just $2, easy peasy. And you can head over to ccbunker.weebly.com if you want to go that way and get some stuff. Well, it's just another way to get the show in it. Thanks, everybody, for coming on by. Thank you, Mikey, for being pretty and delicious, like a lump of ice cream or something. I don't know.
I can only do what I can do.
That's right. Shake it, baby. And until next week, everybody, hopefully there'll be some more substantial Transformers stuff to talk about. But if you have a figure arts cooler you want to send me, I'll
send me a Tripticon.
Yeah. Not asking much.
Stop judging me for not spending money and just send me the fucking toy if you're that desperate for me to have it.
Get off your ass, Mikey. Just buy things. Do it.
Why isn't Gridman Universe out yet, Andy?
It's not next year, probably.
It's all over my Twitter and it won't go away.
No, they're going to try and spoil everything for you because that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.